Okay, so let's talk music first. Are you ready for kind of off the wall, though still very much anticipated, nu metal revival? Well, we have Spineshank returning for real, not just for that reunion tour that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Who had this on their 2025 bingo card? Not me. Turnstile just announced a new massive tour. We're going to get into details of that. And then also, speaking of legendary tours, what about one of the biggest, like, thrash metal albums of all time is going to be played from front to back on tour by the two brothers who wrote the damn thing? We have that, and we have quite a bit more in music news, so let's do this. Welcome, nerds, to the Clips channel. If you are new here, then let me welcome you to the Clips. This is a smaller portion of a much larger video that happens over on the main channel. It's a series I like to call The Week in Nerddom. This right here is the music section. We are going to be talking about music-related things, tours, new music, reacting to videos, just regular news in the music news section, all of the things. Super excited to have you here. Let's get into the news.
Oh, hey nerds! So, just here to remind you this week that subscribing is great. You should do that. It really doesn't cost you much, and it helps us make the show happen. It also keeps me fed, so that's a good thing too, right? You don't want a dragon to get hungry. So hit the subscribe button, tell all your friends. We've gotten a lot of comments recently talking about how people think we do a good job here, so let your friends know if that's the case, and it really helps us out even more that way. So, yeah, there you go. Either way, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for feeding me. Let's get back to nerdy things. Okay, bye.
Okay, no follow-ups or corrections here for music, but we do have new music to talk about. So, kicking things off, we have a new record from Signs of the Swarm. A new record is called To Rid Myself of Truth. It is out August 22nd. You can go check out the first single from the record if you follow the link down in the description over to the Signs of the Swarm Bandcamp page. You can also check out their previous outings, and once the new record drops, it will be up there as well, so go check that out. Continuing on with new music, we have Orbit Culture has also announced the release date for their next record called Death Above Life, due out October 3rd via Century Media. I honestly didn't look to see if they have a Bandcamp, so they probably do, I'm sure. But go check it, go look for it, or I'll link it in the show notes if I can remember to do that. But yeah, Orbit Culture is good stuff. I'm super stoked for the new record. Let's move on. From there, we have, this is more announcement of new music to come rather than new music that has been released, but we have Spineshank have officially reunited to make new music. They're not just doing the reunion tour with, what was it, Theory of a Dead Man? No, Union Underground, sorry, not Theory of a Dead Man, Union Underground. So they are going to be releasing a new single sometime in the course of the next couple of weeks, but they have also said in a recent interview that they are working on a brand new full-length record, so that will be out in the months to come as well, presumably before the end of the year, though a release window was not officially set in the interview. Continuing on, we have new music from Demon Hunter, and this is a really interesting one because Demon Hunter put out their last record something like 11 years ago, is that correct? A most recent record, October of 22, so I take that back. It was 3 years ago, I can do math. But their last full-length record was October of 22. They have since put out 7 standalone singles because apparently they're not on a label anymore, so they can do as they see fit. And this is just kind of, I feel like, more indicative of where the industry is going. It's really, I'm interested to see how this pans out, just because previously, like, its touring cycles are dependent on record releases, not single releases. So I don't know, it's very interesting. The name of the single, before I get too far ahead of myself, is Light Bends. Again, this is the 7th 7th standalone single that they have released since their last full-length record, with no signs of stopping. Maybe they're going to go the Tom McDonald route, and once they release an album's worth of material, then they'll just collect that onto an album, release that album, and then go on tour. I don't know exactly, but we'll see how that pans out. And then over one last piece of new music this week, we have Scars on Broadway, Daron Malakian's other band, Daron obviously from System of a Down, his other band releasing their first new music since 2018 with this track that they released. The first single from this new record, I should say, is called Killing Spree. The new record is called Addicted to Violence. I did not see a release date for this one, but as we get closer to its release, once that date has been set, I will be following up with it for you. Until that point, that is what we have for new music this week. Let's talk about festivals and tours that have been announced over the course of the last week. We have probably the biggest one here is Turnstile has announced the Never Enough US tour with support from Speed. That's right, the Australian flautist hardcore band, Speed, Jane Remover, and it's just those two, Speed and Jane Remover. And then on selected dates, they'll have Amyl The Sniffers, Blood Orange, and Mannequin Pussy. Not all three on those selected dates. It'd be a weird combination of them, but on some of those dates, we'll get all of those bands, so it's pretty interesting. Pre-sales are up now if you have a pre-sale pass, which I could not find one, so my apologies, but general tickets go up on sale Friday. The tour starts September 15th in Nashville, Tennessee, runs through October 19th in Orlando, Florida. No links. Go check out their bands in town or just their the website official for Turnstile, and you'll find the tickets for sale there, I'm sure. Our next big tour is Cavalera. The Cavalera brothers are going on tour, performing Chaos AD in full with support from Fear Factory. No other bands listed as of yet for this tour. The tour starts September 18th in Louisville, Kentucky, runs through October 18th in Dallas, Texas. Tickets also go on sale on Friday. I was, however, able to find a link for tickets on that one, so go check that out in the show notes. And that brings us into regular-ass news for the music section, and just this morning, as I was finishing up research, getting ready to film, we got the announcement that Brian Wilson, one of the original Beach Boys, one of the founding members, like it was his brainchild, Beach Boy, has passed the age of 82. It seems he suffered from a neurological disorder very similar to Alzheimer's, though apparently not Alzheimer's. And that is what eventually took his life. So yeah, this is a musical titan. I mean, he did have a pretty good run. He was 82 years old, but this is one of the best harmonic masterminds. The Beach Boys can do insane things with their 3 and 5 part harmonies that just sound incredible, and now we have lost one. So we're going to take a minute and remember Brian Wilson.
I'm picking up vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Good vibrations.
And then picking things up a little bit, perhaps, depending on your point of view on such things, Prosthetic Records is in the news because they just got purchased by MNRK Music Group. MNRK, they have a pretty broad catalog of bands. They have a whole subsection of their label already for heavy music called MNRK Heavy. And so this is really interesting, but the operations of Prosthetic Records will be going under the MNRK Heavy umbrella, which seems that they're only going to be retaining the name of Prosthetic. It doesn't sound like, it wasn't part of the press release, so we don't know exact specifics as to what portion of the workforce that was Prosthetic Records is going to be maintained and what portion is going to be let go, though when they don't specifically say, well, this executive and these people are all staying on board, usually that means they're all leaving. So very likely Prosthetic Records now only exists in name alone, though, and their catalog of bands have already started getting rolled into the fold of NRK. Some of the newer bands that they were in the process of signing to Prosthetic are now going to be on MNRK heavy. So no word exactly how the transition is going to affect bands that are already on Prosthetic, if they're going to maintain that relationship with the name, or if that's going to just alter into MNRK heavy. It seems like it's a good thing because technically now there's a lot more backing behind Prosthetic, but again, it also sounds like they're kind of just devouring Prosthetic and is going to be no more in the not too distant future. So I don't know, only time will tell. All right, so we're gonna take another second here real quick and remind you that this is the season of the merch. We are pushing merch this season real hard. I just put up the surprise, quote unquote, surprise drop for, I think honestly I might just keep this one on the store just because I think it's pretty silly. I don't know, I'm proud of myself in my stupidity, but it's the Confused Millennial t-shirt, Confused Millennial design, because it's more than a t-shirt. You got the hoodie, you got the long sleeve, you got the sticker, you got the mug, you got the shopping bag, all of these options up at the general store, linked down in the description of this episode. You can go check that out. Purchase any one of those things. No coupon code right now because we're not doing our monthly shirt. That begins next week. Next week you'll be getting another 10% coupon code with the design for the month, the temporary design for the month, which I think is going to be real juicy for all of you cinema and music nerds out there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But right now, go check out the Confused Millennial design and all of the other basic nerd designs up at the Nerdy store right now. I thank you, as always, nerds, for checking it out. Again, stay tuned to the Nerdy stores, the general store, for updated designs every month. We drop at least one new design every month. Go check that out. We'll see you over there. But now let's finish the show, shall we? Yes. But that is what we got for regular ass news. That brings us to our suggestion for the week. Suggestion, I think, is kind of obvious, and that is Spineshank's Height of Callousness. This is the record that kind of put them on the map. Their first record, Pure Diesel, was okay. Height of Callousness, though, was one of the better, in terms of nu metal, one of the better records at the time. Released in 2000, October of 2000. Some of the standout tracks, very specifically, are New Disease and Synthetic. Legitimately, the New Disease song just randomly jumps into my head still to this day, and I probably haven't listened to this record in at least a decade, probably more, so that kind of speaks to the staying power and the songwriting power available on this record. But also, Synthetic was so influential, I knew a band, minor touring band, that was touring. They got their name from that record, from that song specifically. They called themselves Synthetic Delusion. A couple of their members went on to play for Motograder before Motograder became the weird science project that it is. But yeah, just kind of a super influential and kind of under the radar all at the same time band. Go check out Height of Callousness from Spineshank. That is your suggestion for the week. Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of the sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, probably here.